everyone, it's Katie with One Music School, and today we're going to learn how to tune your guitar or your ukulele and also how to avoid a couple of beginner mistakes when you're learning how to tune. So before we learn how to tune, we have to know the names and parts of our instrument. You have the headstock and the tuners, the nut, which comes from the German word Nut, which means groove or slot. We have the neck, the body, the bridge, the sound hole, strings and frets, and some have pick guards. On the guitar, the names of the strings are E, B, G, D, A, and another octave E. On the ukulele, it's A, E, C, and G. The guitar strings can also be labeled by numbers. It's the same with the ukulele, but it's only 1 through 4. Now we know that the parts of our instrument and the names of our strings, we have to know what sharp and flat means. So in very simple terms, sharp means that something is above the pitch or a note, and flat means something is below the pitch or below the note. So if something is too high above the pitch and the string is too tight, then that pitch is going to be sharp. If something is below the pitch or string is too loose, then that means the pitch will be flat. So how we read sharp and flat pitches on a tuner is very simple. Most tuner displays look the same. They have a curve or a half circle in the middle, a flat sign on the left, and a sharp sign on the right. When you're tuning your instrument, the sound signal is sent to the tuner, it reads the note, and the little line or needle moves to the left or to the right or to the middle. For example, this tuner says this note is sharp because it's to the right of the middle. The last one is in tune because the tuning needle is right in the middle. So let's do this together. I have a simple headstock tuner on my guitar, and I'm going to start with the E string, the one closest to my nose, and I'm going to pluck the string, and I'm going to send a constant signal to the tuner. You could use your thumb or a pick, it doesn't matter. Sometimes if you pluck once and adjust the tuning peg, the reading might not be as accurate, so that's why I constantly pluck it. Now my tuner says that this note is sharp, so it's all the way to the right of the middle. So I'm going to loosen my string very, very gently until it's right in the middle. Now we're going to try to tune a string that is flat. So I'm choosing my ukulele. I'm going to use my thumb to pluck the string again. Again, I send a constant signal to the tuner. And as you can see on the tuner, the note is flat. So I know that because the needle is to the left of the center. So that means I need to tighten the string very gently until it's right in the middle. I need to repeat that process for every single string to make sure that the instrument is in tune. You'll automatically know that your instrument is not in tune when you play a chord and it just doesn't sound right. So you have to make sure you do that for every single string. Now some instruments are so out of tune, you may actually be tuning the wrong note. So this is a very common mistake. Let's say that you've tuned your instrument, everything was right into the middle of the needle, it was in tune, you go to play a song and it sounds awful. And you're wondering, well, everything was in the middle of the tuner, what's wrong with my instrument? You may have tuned one of the strings to the wrong note. It's a very common mistake. So for example, I have my A string, I tuned it, and it's right in the middle of the needle. But if you look at my tuner, it says A sharp, or sometimes it's noted with a little dot after it, A with a little dot. This is my A string. But if I go to play, it's right in the middle of the tuner. It sounds terrible. It's a very common mistake because a tuner is meant to tune any note. So this is how we fix it. You have to know something called your chromatic scale. And basically the chromatic scale are notes in order of half steps. There are only 12 notes, but some notes have 2 names. Most tuners only register the sharps. So here's my chromatic scale, all of the notes in order. First, I find the note that I would like to tune to. So I find my A because my A string just doesn't sound right. On the tuner, it's registered as an A sharp. So it's right next door to it, and I would have to loosen it in order to get to an A. So you see it's right behind it, so I have to loosen the string until it gets to an A. So I loosen, way better. So that was an example of when a string is too tight. Well, what if a string is too loose? I've chosen a guitar to demonstrate this, and I am going to choose my E string again to tune. It's hooked up to my tuner, and it says that the note is in tune, it's in pitch, but if you notice, it says D. This is an E string. So I look at my chromatic scale, and I find my E, and I find the D. And I see that there are 2 half steps away from each other. So that means it's moving in that direction, so I have to tighten it. Now it's at a D sharp, we're getting closer. And now we have an E, and now it's in tune. If the pitch on your tuner is showing up as a note on the scale that is to the left of the one that you want, you have to tighten the string. If the pitch on your tuner is showing up as a note on the scale that is to the right of the one that you want, you have to loosen the string until you get to the note that you want. Now this brings me to my favorite tuning app. It's called GuitarTuna. You can tune an ukulele or a guitar to this app, and it's free. So with GuitarTuna, once you pluck a string, the string actually lights up on the app. It tells you whether the string is too tight or too loose, or if the pitch is too high or too low. It completely eliminates having to know the chromatic scale, so it makes it a lot easier to tune. And when the string is in pitch, it dings. Something to note about that app though is that it may not be as accurate as a headstock tuner, but it's great for beginners, it's very visual, and it's free. And that's it. That's how to tune your guitar or your ukulele, and hopefully it will help you avoid a couple of beginner mistakes when you're learning how to tune. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.